As one of the few black state attorneys, Marilyn Mosby took a number of political risks during her 8-year tenure. She moved to decriminalize sex work and marijuana. She established programs to provide nonviolent drug offenders with alternatives to incarceration, and even started one of the country's only youth and prevention departments. But it wasn't until after her push to prosecute the officers who killed Freddie Gray that she found herself on the other side of the courtroom, convicted of fraud for withdrawing funds from her own Baltimore deferred compensation retirement account, something 739 other city employees, including 3 people who worked in the same agency as Attorney Mosby, did during the pandemic. Yet she was the only one prosecuted and now faces up to 40 years in prison. Marilyn Mosby joins me now. I guess the first most obvious question is, how are you doing? This must have hit you like a Mack truck.
I mean, first and foremost, I'm blessed. And so thank you for having me on. Yeah, it's still an incredibly sobering moment, right? I've done absolutely nothing wrong, nothing illegal, nothing criminal.
This was your money. Was there any public money involved in this transaction?
No, absolutely not. This was not, despite how I've been vilified, when the gag order was in place and I was unable to defend myself. It's just not PPP loans. This is not a COVID relief funding. This was the money that I was putting away every 2 weeks in a retirement savings account. And I was advised I could withdraw from this fund. There was, the person that testified, the government witness, got on the stand and said all I needed to do was suffer a $50 adversity.
Right.
And I had more than a $50 adversity as a result of COVID. So I didn't even take the stand once that came out, right? And it's like, obviously, I'm not going to be convicted. I know that this was politically targeted, and it was sobering.
Talk about this, because you do say that you've been targeted, and why do you think that happened? Because the thing that changed between you indicting those officers in the Freddie Gray case and this is the president changed, the Justice Department changed, and Leo Wise got a lot more power. Talk about that a little bit.
So, I mean, I think that you've kind of touched upon all of it, right? Like, when you look at the policies that were being implemented, not only did President Trump say I need to prosecute myself, but 2 months after, Larry Krasner from Philadelphia and I called him out in the Washington Post, they started this investigation.
And who is Larry Krasner?
Larry Krasner is a Philadelphia district attorney.
Right. And so there is a sense, I think a lot of people would be shocked that, the Murdaugh, the guy who allegedly killed his son, is facing 40 years. They're trying to sentence you to 40 years. The sentencing is on the 23rd of May.
It is.
What do you want to see happen? I know there's a petition asking President Biden to pardon you. Is that what you want?
I mean, I think that that's appropriate. I mean, I think I don't believe that. I know that I've done absolutely nothing wrong, nothing criminal, and to be separated from my children for 40 years as a result of withdrawing $90,000 of my own money, it just makes absolutely no sense. It's illogical. And so, I want the people that I fought for. I fought so hard, first-generation college student. They're trying to take my law license, as in an emergency petition, an unprecedented move. I want this justice system that I fought so hard to equalize and to balance the scales of justice, where the business model is based off the backs of Black and brown people, for the people that I fought for to understand and recognize that I need them to fight for me, not because it's Marilyn Mosby, but because something like this goes beyond Marilyn Mosby. If they can do this to Marilyn Mosby, who had the audacity to challenge the status quo, they can do this to anybody. They can do this more specifically to those prosecutors that have the courage and the gall to challenge the status quo in the way that I did.
And the reason I think it stands out is that you did have, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, dismiss 2 prosecutors he claimed were George Soros progressives. There is this sort of, Bill Barr railed against you by name and others, saying that what you all were doing, disrupting the system in favor of the incarcerated, was destroying the system, and you all needed to pay for it. Do you feel that that you are part of that?
I mean, he made it very clear in February of 2020 when he addressed the sheriffs of America that these rogue social justice prosecutors, we will do anything by any means necessary, whether jurisdictionally or any individual politician that comes in the rule of and goes between the rule of law. And so that's exactly what they have done, right? They've targeted me. And as I stated before, this is a 4-year-long investigation
Yeah.
where they've combed every aspect of my life. We're unannounced, going to people's homes, my neighbors. At 5 o'clock, the FBI knocking on their door, intimidating folks. They issued subpoenas to all of the black churches in 5 months before my reelection, not only to get me out of office, but they've done this to demonize me and to vilify me and to break me psychologically, break me professionally, break me spiritually, break me financially. I've lost everything. I've lost everything.
And, meanwhile, one of the officers that was involved in Freddie Gray's death is now going to oversee the Baltimore Police Integrity Unit. I mean, that does seem to be a message. You have 2 young children. They are preteens, 13, 15. How are they holding up under all this?
I mean, this is.
And you're a single mom.
I'm now a single mom. I filed for divorce of a 25-year relationship as a result of the chasms that were drawn between this. But they're not 3 and 5 years old no more. I can't shield them from the negativity. You know, children have come up to them and asked them and said, that's why your mom's going to jail, right? They've been traumatized through all of this. But the most sobering thing, and I got to just say, I'm so grateful about all of it, is that God has still covered them, right? They're still prospering despite the trauma that's been imposed upon them. More recently, my daughter had a cotillion and unannounced, right? She said she wanted to go to law school and become a prosecutor. She didn't even tell me. I was like, wow, right? So I feel like I'm doing something good. At the end of the day, I'm a positive example where before, I didn't want them to come into the courtroom for the first trial, but the second one, I really wanted them to see what it looks like to face adversity and to have faith and to have strength in the face of adversity.
Would you advise prosecutors to go as hard as you did? I mean, vacating nearly 800, criminal cases. Would you advise people to take those progressive steps? And what would you say about the risks to doing that?
I mean, justice is always worth the price paid for its pursuit. I would not do anything differently. And I know that God does not forsake the righteous. And so, I know he will have the final say, and I'm confident. I'm confident that this administration will see past the political sort of attacks and why I've been convicted.
Marilyn Mosby, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.